that you take, any certification that you get, or even if you don't get a certification, you can just document the day in their personnel file, the day the person took it, you know, so.
Alicia keeps track.
Okay,
I give her my continuing education. It goes in my personnel file.
all right.
Yep.
So I guess, does that need to be specifically stated that,
No.
no?
I
Okay.
would, you can put, you know, it could be documented in the personnel file, but that, to me, is now you're really getting,
Yeah, okay,
you're micromanaging now.
right, that's true.
Yeah, I think, the I'm sure this is something that they're gonna institute, so I think that's all part of proper record keeping for accountability and liability.
Right. Yeah, because that is discussed somewhere else in here that, you know,
It gets into,
those requirements, so yes. So,
yeah,
okay.
and it talks about human resources and personnel management, so that would be part of that whole thing. I mean, keep it simple, I guess.
Okay, 3.4.2, so
So,
it's
3.72,
3.72.
this is the one I had sent out.
This is, yep, Wendy worked on this.
So B, it just says intentionally violate any express provisions of this charter or convicted of a prior felony. Well, you don't, we can't just say that you can't run for anything, because right now the President of the United States is running for office and he's been convicted of a felony. So what I suggest to put in here is strike prior felony. And so it should say, intentionally violate any express provisions of this charter or are convicted of a crime, the conduct of which occurred during the official's term of office and the victim of which is the municipality.
Can you read that last part again?
Okay, so we're gonna strike prior felony and put crime, and then it will be the conduct of which occurred during the official's term of office and the victim of which is the municipality. So they,
Make it long. Turn it that way.
well, I would if I could. I can't get it to turn. I'll send it to you. Didn't I send it to you already?
You did, it's in my computer. Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm. 3.9.
The board shall meet regularly, except holidays, at such times and places the board may specify by rule at least twice a month, when practical. All meetings except for those in executive sessions which shall commence in the public session shall be open to the public in accordance with the freedom of access laws of the state of Maine.
Okay, the concern with that the statement was made that they should meet every week regardless. The bigger the town gets, the more you should be present for the citizens of the town. And if you have a lot of projects going on at the same time, you should be present for the town to answer those questions. Sometimes they may have a meeting that only lasts 15 minutes, but at least, you know, to me, every 2 weeks is standard for some towns like Leamington, Waterboro, Buxton, you can get it all, done in one meeting. 2 meetings, actually. So, you know, the basic concern on a lot of things is signing the warrants or the payroll. Well, right now, you only need one person to sign payroll, and you need to have 3 persons to sign the invoices. Well, don't produce invoices every week, produce them every 2 weeks. And nobody will like me for this one, but produce payroll every 2 weeks. Those things you can do, but,
That's an option, yes, definitely.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that one of the times that I was on the board, we'd come in, sign on, say good evening, do the flag salute, do the warrants, because there was nothing to talk about, you
Right.
know?
They're meeting weekly, except for the summer months.
Right, yep.
I mean, that's,
They're fulfilling their duty.
Also with the town manager there, they are gonna have a different workload, so.
Correct.
So they will have more of those occasions where you come in, you know, you come in for 15 minutes and you're out of here, yeah.
Yep.
So I think that this is worded fine the way it is, in my
Yep.
opinion.
And it's fine, you know, and if there's a holiday on a Monday, they do meet on Tuesday.
Right. And if they, by any chance, change their scheduled meeting date, whatever day of the week, then that's it. They just need to
You just post
compass
it.
the holiday on it, like every business does, so.
Yep,
Hmm?
And if there's a snowstorm, they meet the next day.
Hmm?
They did that.
let's see.
So we got, 4.3C.
4.3?
4.3C. 4.3, the letter C. Municipal officers may select deputies as authorized by state law. Appointment of such deputies must be approved by the town manager.
They
Oh,
want
wait,
a
you know what it was? It wasn't in the definitions.
definition of a deputy.
Definitions of a deputy. So that needs to be put in the bag. Deputy, let's see. Deputy. Okay. And then there was new hire per year, family leave, I'm not sure.
Which one?
4.2.3,
4.2,
4.2.3 boards. Shouldn't you note that the planning board is elected, the zoning board of appeals is, I mean, why does it say budget committee and not planning board elected?
I'm not sure. C section 3.
Okay, let's see. Boards are established to oversee and execute functions of town government or specific processes with town government. Each board elects its own chair as its leader. You're just saying that each,
I should say elected planning board, zoning board of appeals that's appointed. I'm just questioning, why does it say budget committee elected?
It's not on
It
mine.
doesn't, it's
not
not
on
on
mine.
mine.
Huh?
It's not on mine.
It's on mine.
It's on mine.
On this one, it's not. On this one, it's not.
which
Not on yours?
revision do you have?
You should have the one with the red ink on the front of it.
This is June 13th.
The red ink? No, yeah, I'll get you one.
Yep. On this one, it's not. This is the one from our last public hearing. That's right.
Okay. Yep, that's the one. right there.
That's the one, okay, wrong one.
That was it, I think.
Yep, that was it, yeah. You got it, Dennis?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I think,
yeah.
we corrected it, and the last time we retyped that. So, does anybody have any other stuff that we had from last week that, I think I wrote everything down, took pretty good notes. I think we corrected those, we had some pretty good comments on that, to fix some of those things, and I think we just did it. So the process now will, I'll get this fixed, those corrections done, and we'll meet on July 11th, and just go over one more time with some eyes, and then we will send it off to Natalie one more time, and we'll have to develop the final report. So, my understanding, talking to different people, the final report is to make comment on each one of the sections, put a little narrative in there, why that's important, so, we can start working on that here and, over the next week, so we can have at least a draft of that done for the 11th, and then we'll have to, post a meeting for the August 1st, have the third public hearing, and then make any changes based on any information we get there, and then, we have to submit it to the Board of Selectmen for their approval, and to be posted, put before on the ballot for the November election, and I think that has to be done right at Labor Day.
Yep,
Right around
yep,
Labor Day,
yep.
so, Dennis?
I have a couple of others here,
Sure.
because I found notes I had taken.
No, that's fine.
See,
Let me know what
it
they
looks like on 3.4.2,
3-4.2.
yeah, I guess the concern was, where can I get that page?
Continuing education,
You just did that.
we did that.
Yes, but, all right, so one of the comments was, is there a time limit to meet requirements for the positions?
I think we just had that
We
discussion.
kind of discussed that, but I guess, yeah, what we,
I'm not sure you can, I think I think you're getting into the weeds with,
Yep.
with
Okay.
the manager.
Right.
There might be, he might,
It's something in the personnel policy regarding it anyway, because you have, it's like a probationary period for the most part. So that reprimand, if you wanna call it, I mean, cause you're not going to me, if you've got someone and you've hired them and they're really good at the job, but time gets away from people, so you gotta give them a notice. You gotta give them notices, and that should be taken care of in the personnel policy, I would think.
6 months now, isn't it?
I think 6
6
months is
months.
probationary period,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah.
And so, so if this charter, passes, that's some of the things that the manager will have to do is based on some of the things in this charter itself, update the personnel policy to fit with it.
In talking to some other places about this, I'm finding, just talking to different people, is that they're actually doing onboarding when new people come on, because there's so many things that have to go. Some of the stuff is, they have to do it within a certain amount of time, like online stuff, like sexual harassment, those types of things. Those have to be done like right away.
right.
Yeah, that falls under personnel policy anyway, so you have to, sexual harassment, signing up for insurances, accepting or rejecting your, all those things are in that personnel policy.
So, I think that's, hopefully that's something, whoever he or she does that, passes, which we're hoping it will, because I think it will take a little bit of time, to get those things going, but once they get going, I think it'll streamline things.
Yeah, the comment was made, competent people, but for the most part, people are competent in different things. And you can't pigeonhole people. There are people who may want to learn, and it may take them it takes you, when you become, select board, on the select board, it's not 1 year that you learn all this stuff. It's not 2 or 3. You're constantly learning the job. Every time you turn around, there's something going on that you've never dealt with before. Because if you dealt with everything, then the job would be really boring, as far as I'm concerned. So you really can't
Right, okay.
do that. You can't say that,
Basically, the requirements, you know, for the cases, as you've said, you know, the sexual harassment and all those critical ones are part of the personnel policy when they come in. The rest of
Yep.
this training is, I'll say, ad hoc,
yep,
as you go and as you need, and
you're an employee,
yes.
and an employee, someone that gets hired,
Yeah.
there's going to be an expectation in that job description of what your qualifications are, what's, you know, what you're expected to do on the job, and, but if you're an elected official, as I stated, that all you have to be is 18 years old, a registered voter in the municipality that you're going for.
Okay.
And so,
Those,
they're two different things. You always wanna be smarter than your boss anyway.
those time-sensitive things should be in the personnel policy, because you can't put them in here
No,
and
because,
lock it down, because if you wanna change it, you know, you
Yeah.
can't. But
True.
the personnel policy can be.
so this is just a really a guideline.
Mhm.
You know, you want to make sure that the town manager and the select board adhere to writing policies, maintaining those policies, doing some of the other things that you really want done, you know, but we can't get into the minutia of each and everything, because, as Joanne said, we'll tie our hands.
I'm just trying to make sure we talk about all the items that they question. And
Yep.
another one that I don't really understand what the question was or what the expected result would have been, but the question was, elected officials are not part of the personnel policy. Does that ring a bell for anything?
That is a mistake. The elected officials do not fall under the personnel policy, because their bosses, an elected official, is the legislative body, the citizens of the town. They're the ones that, by this is going to say, it's the select board's personnel policy, is this is what they're required to do, some of the things they're required to do. State law already states some of the things that the select board is required to do, or town ordinances, or, policy, self-written policies by any board, and I really don't like this when people say it, is that if they write a policy, you know, we can break it. Well, what's the sense writing a policy? You write policies, and they should be reviewed, to me, every year, regardless. If you have the same 5 people all the time, they should be looked at every year, because things change, laws change. Different types of, something might change on a Maine State statute, or something within the structure of the town itself may change. So you want to review them every year. At least the policy ordinances, you know, unless something major comes up, you don't have to, or review, do we need an ordinance for this? We can cause a death to the town having way too many ordinances too. But how to run and function in the office, there's nothing wrong with that.
They are covered under the code of ethics, so.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Good catches there. Yes.
but right now, let me add to that, right now, so you have the tax collector, town clerk, in order for them, they do try to follow, and which I believe they do for the most part, they follow the personnel policies for, like, taking days off, you know, like the holidays, and, the town has afforded them, to be part of the main, no, I can't even. Huh? Yeah, benefits, yes, thank you. Part of the benefits, you know, of the other employees receive. They're not part of the earned paid leave, though.
Any other, Joanne, anything to add?
Don't think so.
Do you want, I hate to be a nag here, do you wanna look at the items that I had picked up and sent out? We
Sure.
didn't talk about any of those.
Sure.
You know, again, most of those, they're not policy items, but they're more like fixing the document so it's clear, in my opinion. Is that okay?
Yeah. Tell us where we are, Dennis.
Okay, section 2.1.2,
2.1.2.
and section A, section 1 under that. And, right, I have added, but to read the whole thing, election of the following town officials: select board, planning board, water district, sewer district, RSU 57 board directors, budget committee members, and town meeting moderator, and other municipal officials as may be required, should be added there.
Okay.
Because there's,
So, moderator, comma, and other municipal officials
as may be required.
as
Okay.
okay.
All right, section 2.2.1, under procedure. We kind of discussed this at one point in time, but do we need to have a statement about maintaining a quorum for the entire meeting? We discussed, well, that, we have at the town meeting, 40 people are there, we have the quorum, but then before business is done, we're down to 10 people. Can we continue on? Do we need that statement in there?
I remember having that conversation, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we ended up saying that you can't control people's in and out.
That's what I'm saying, we can't
Yeah.
control them, because they're gonna leave, the fact that we are now down under the number of people for a quorum, can we continue on with business? Or
Yes.
can we continue the business even though we do not have a
I
quorum?
think some of the discussion was that
That's
the meeting started with 40, but we can't control people, so the meeting continues.
Because in the meeting, when a meeting starts,
Mhm.
they'll say, is there a quorum? And they'll say, yes, there is. Then after that,
After that, they don't check again, okay. I know we discussed that, and I
Yep.
didn't remember exactly how we did that.
We can't
but
time to the chair.
I didn't know whether we needed to put a comment in there to say or not, but if we don't need to, then that's fine. That's good.
Good.
Section 2.2.4, under Part B. The complete warrant shall be posted on electronic media of the town in, and then I inserted the word "and," at least 5 conspicuous places.
Oh, so we take out "in" and put "and."
Yeah, if the town,
well,
And- and in at least 5, somewhere in there, you need an "and" because otherwise it looks like the electronic media is the.
Yep. So- The complete warrant shall be posted on electronic media of the town and at least 5 conspicuous.
Right,
So-
okay.
Take out "in" and "and," add "and." Right?
Yep.
Okay, and C, under that, it looks like a typo. Copies of should be leased and not lease, 14 days before the town meeting.
Right, at least, yes.
Two dot 4, second paragraph, vacancies in elected offices. Elected officials shall forfeit their office if they lack any qualifications for the office as described by law by this charter, and I took out the word "and" replaced it with "or" by the personnel criteria.
Should be the personnel policy.
Personal criteria.
Yeah.
By this charter or by the personnel criteria. And then or if they are convicted of a felony at any time during their term of office. Do we need to change that to make it the same as the other description you did, Wendy?
Well, we say C 3.72, which we
We correct it.
corrected.
Okay. So,
We could,
all right, that's, yeah, my comment here was, I know in 3.72 it had prior, and here it says during, so I just thought it should be consistent. But we took out the prior felony in 3.72, so that's immaterial now.
but we could put 3.72B, you know, so, because it talks about the felony.
Okay, so we'll do that.
So that would be 3.72 parentheses B,
Yeah.
lowercase.
Yeah.
Yeah, and parentheses, yeah. Okay.
Next one I have is 3.1.3, election and terms, first paragraph,
3.1,
Which number?
3.13,
Election in terms?
election and terms. All right, the second sentence, no term of office for an elected official of the town currently serving at this time of the adoption of this charter. At this time of the adoption, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, can we improve the wording of that? It may be grammatically correct, but it doesn't seem to make sense to me.
At the time of adoption.
At the time of the, yeah, just start it with that, at the time of adoption of this charter, knowing that.
Yeah,
You're gonna take out following, right?
no term of office for an elected official of the town currently serving.
at the time of the adoption of this
The time.
charter.
Yeah, I think it should be the.
Yes, should be the instead of this.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Of this charter shall be abridged or otherwise augmented. The term
Yeah.
shall convene upon election. We did tweak that a little bit, yeah, so, good.
All right.
3.4.1, municipal officers on page 7. Let me read.
7,
3.4.
3.4.1. My numbering might be different. The second sentence, the decisions and actions of the board shall not be contrary to any vote of the Limerick annual town meeting. And I would take "and" out and put "or" in there, or any other special town meeting.
All right, say that again, Dennis.
The decisions and actions of the board shall not be contrary to any vote of the Limerick annual town meeting or any special town meeting, any other special town meeting. Take out the "and" and put in "or."
Change "and" to "or."
Yes.
what was the one that I was upset with? That I talked to you about? Yeah,
It was changed.
it was, which one was the number?
5-something. Is it 5-something?
Is that,
It's 5.11 and 5.12 vacancies. It's listed, yeah, all appointees must be registered voters and residents of, or property owners of the town. That
Yep.
that needs to be,
We crossed that out, right?
we'll talk to everybody else about it too.
Yep.
Because we didn't talk. Do you have any more, Dennis?
I do.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
Okay, 3.9, third paragraph.
3.9.
3.9?
3.9, meetings.
Yep. Oh, third paragraph. All right.
Third paragraph under that. Emergency meetings shall be called without regard to the aforementioned 7-day notice requirement. And it should be a comma between requirement and by.
Got it.
All right, 3.9.1, meeting agendas, second paragraph. Once the agenda has been posted, changes shall only be made for extenuating circumstances. When a change is made to the agenda, the reason for the extenuation must be entered into the minutes. I don't like the word extenuation there, and it's actually not a word. I would put the word change in there, because the extenuating is a different type of an adverb or something, so I would change that second
So
extenuation.
the reason for the changes must be entered into the minutes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, 3.13, codification and review. This I know we've talked about several times, and I just, section C. The town clerk will maintain a schedule of ordinance review and inform the board and town manager when an ordinance has been in effect for 4.5 years. The ordinance shall be reviewed by the board for update and compliance annually. So I don't understand. How can we do something annually but then have to do it every 4.5 years?
I would just take out, be reviewed by the board for update, period.
So you're saying the town clerk will maintain a schedule of ordinance review and inform the board.
Yep.
Can you read what you want to say?
Yep, I'll read
Ordinance
it.
shall be reviewed by the board for update period?
Yep.
Yep.
Is that what you
Yep.
want?
So the whole section there, C, shall read, the town clerk will maintain a schedule of ordinance review and inform the board and town manager when an ordinance has been in effect for 4.5 years. The ordinance shall be reviewed by the board for update.
Or for updates.
Should be-
Shall be reviewed by the board and town manager
Yeah.
for updates?
For any updates?
Yeah.
Or,
Well, it's really up, that's up in C, inform the board and town manager. That last sentence doesn't make sense.
And then section D doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Well, let's just strike D then.
Strike D, yes.
So section C,
We're talking about the town clerk now, and you're getting the board of selectmen and we're talking about the town clerk.
Yeah, the town clerk will maintain the schedule of ordinance review and inform the board and town manager when an ordinance has been in effect for 4.5 years. The ordinance or ordinances shall be reviewed by the board and town manager for any necessary updates.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. Section 3.13.1, paragraph B. In all 3 scenarios, the final language will be sent to the board and legal counsel for approval of the final submission to put the proposed ordinance on secret ballot at the next scheduled election. See section 3.15.6, which does not exist.
What's this?
I don't know what that would really be pointing to. I didn't know if it maybe was left out of this document by mistake or not.
That's interesting. Is it on an old one?
I was looking, I didn't see it, so.
Do we even need C-section, or just,
It only goes to 3.14. No, 3.14 is the,
Yeah, no, 214.
I wonder if it meant to say, all three scenarios of final language will be sent to the board and legal counsel approval for submission to put the proposed ordinance on secret ballot at the next scheduled election. And then you've got
Okay, I got it right here.
adoption
I got it
and
right here.
legal review for the next two. Okay, good.
It's legal review. Should be, it should have been 13.4.
13.4.
Yeah, it was, the numbering was out.
Section 3.13.3, adoption. For the proposed new ordinance, modification or revocation of an existing ordinance to become effective, it must be approved by the voters in a referendum vote at the municipal or general election in March, June, or November, not in. And then 3.13.4, the section at the reference at the end of it should be 3.13.1B instead of 3.13.2. 3.13.1.b.
Right.
That refers back to the one we just did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of thinking that was the end of what I found.
Well, those were good catches, thank you, Dennis.
16,
What was that?
page 16,
316?
Page 16.
Page 16.
page 16.
Yeah.
And this-
4.3.2E.
Yeah?
I don't have that marked in mind, did I?
Yep. It's one of the changes, I don't know why I put it, I thought it was one of your changes.
No, it's not in my document as a change,
Okay.
so I'm not sure
Well,
what that was.
you know what I think it was, Joanne, if I remember right? The word, the use of that word?
Yeah.
I asked Natalie, she said the word should stay.
Yes.
The word,
Yeah, we talked about that word.
Consanguinity. Consanguinity,
yeah,
okay.
she said the word should stay.
Okay.
DNA.
That it, Dennis?
Yes.
Those are great catches, thank you. Yeah, that was great.
Okay, I have 5.12.
5 point. 5.12.
Vacancies.
5.12, good.
It says, it states here, all appointees must be registered voters, residents, or property owners of the town. I believe it should be registered voters of the town, and strike out property owners.
registered voters of the town.
Well, yep,
I think
strike out
we did,
property owners
we
of the
did,
town.
it was stricken out in mine. I got
Yeah.
it stricken out here.
Yeah.
So,
but can, be a resident and a registered voter. There may be special circumstances where, right now, like, you're on this committee because it's allowed by law.
So all appointees must be registered voters of the town. Period.
Registered voters or residents of
Or
the town.
residents of the town.
Or, I gotta put or, residents of. Any other ones?
No, I don't have anything else, no.
Joanne, anything else?
Yeah, on, page 25, I've got a note here, and I can't remember why I put it in, 8.7, result of election. Second paragraph at the bottom, I said, how to fill the vacancy in draft. Do you remember what that was?
So the second paragraph,
Yeah,
no person who has been recalled from office or who has resigned from office while recall proceedings are pending on that person shall be appointed to any town office, board, commission, or committee within 2 years of such removal or resignation.
we must have talked about it. And
Yes,
I
we
put-
did.
I put down how to fill the vacancy.
Well, the other thing I thought that we had discussed too, the person may not get recalled during this whole process. How can you recall someone from a position you may, you're recalling, what's the reason why you're recalling them? You may not like the job that they're doing, but it doesn't mean that they can do a job someplace else. You know what I mean? That was one of my points on it. But it can stay as it is.
That's something to do with how do you fill a vacancy after that person has been recalled.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that needs to be in this section, but I know what you're saying, that we need to, it's probably in there somewhere, how to have, well, how to fill vacancies.
It's in 8.5. It says, if the board fails or refuses to order an election, as herein provided, the town clerk shall call the
Right,
election.
okay,
Okay.
that's right.
So when we talked about it, somebody must have fixed it in 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Any other ones, Joanne? Good. Think that's good? Any others?
Nope.
Any other business? I'll initiate a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? No discussion? Good night.